Use divergence theorem to find out the outward flux of the vector field F bar, which equals x cube I plus y cube j plus z square k across the surface of the region enclosed by circular cylinder x square plus y square equals 9 and the planes z equals 0 and z equals 2. The given solid is circular cylinder which rests on the plane z equals 0 and whose height is determined by the plane z equals 2. Laterally it has a circular surface and on the top and bottom it has circles which form the surfaces. In total, for a circular cylinder there are 3 surfaces, circles on top and bottom and the lateral circular surface. We have the solid G is the cylinder which is bounded or enclosed by the outer surfaces. 3 surfaces altogether forms a closed surface which bounds the solid G. By divergence theorem, we know that the flux integral double integral over sigma f bar dot n cap ds can be equated to volume integral triple integral over G divergence of f bar into dv, where n bar is the n cap is the unit outward normal with respect to surface. The vector field f bar given in the question has component functions f1 equals x cube, f2 equals y cube and f3 equals z square. Then we have divergence of f bar which equals del dot f bar can be found using the equation divergence of f bar equals dou f1 by dou x plus dou f2 by dou y plus dou f3 by dou z. We have dou f1 by dou x equals partial derivative of x cube with respect to x which is 3x square. We have dou f2 by dou y is the partial derivative of f2 which is equal to y cube with respect to y, that is partial derivative is 3y square. Dou f3 by dou z equals 2z. Therefore, divergence of f bar is obtained as 3x square plus 3y square plus 2z. Hence, the flux integral can be equated to this expression. Here, in order to solve or to evaluate the triple integral, if we make use of cylindrical coordinate system, recall that cylindrical coordinate system is polar coordinate system itself, where r is the radial line starting from origin and theta is the angular moment of radial line. In addition to the polar coordinate system, we must switch the z coordinate which determines the height of the cylinder. We have z which is the height conveying parameter varies from 0 to 2. In order to find out range of variation of r and theta, let us project the cylinder onto the xy plane. Variation along z axis is the height which is already given as z equals 0 to z equals 2. After projection, we have the circular cylinder becomes just a circle lying on the xy plane. When you consider the circle which lies on the xy plane whose center is 0 0 and whose radius is 3 which follows from this equation, we have when you draw a radial line from the origin, the part of the radial line from origin till it touches the boundary of the circle, that is at the position r equals 3, is to be considered to trace the required region. Therefore, r varies from 0 to 3, where 3 is the radius of the circle. This radial line should make a complete rotation, that is it has to undergo angular movement from theta equals 0 to theta equals 2 pi in order to trace the complete circle. Thus, we have determined the limits of r, theta and z. Recall that the parametric equations when we change from Cartesian coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system will be x equals r cos theta, y equals r sin theta, z equals z itself. Instead of the derivative element dv in the Cartesian plane, dv is the derivative element or the volume element in the 3-dimensional Cartesian space or the xyz 3-dimensional space. dv has to be replaced by the corresponding Jacobian, which is Jacobian j equals r dr d theta into dz. Thus, the required flux when evaluated using cylindrical coordinate system will be obtained like this. We have z varies from 0 to 2, r varies from 0 to 3 and theta varies from 0 to 2 pi. Innermost integral 0 to 2 depicts the range of variation of z. The next integral represents the range of variation of r and the outermost integral represents the range of variation of theta. Since we have constant limits, any order of integration can be followed here. When you integrate with respect to z, you will treat r and theta as constants. After giving limits to z, you will get double integral which involves r or theta which might appear in the terms of the integrand. As per this order, now we will carry out the integration with respect to r, treating theta as a constant, so that you get a single integral. After giving limits to r, you get the integrand which has to be integrated with respect to theta. Flux of the vector field equals 279 pi.